196 days since last competitive game. You can't get more competitive than that, can you?
Yeah, it was a feisty one. It was a feisty one, so it was necessarily comfortable. That's not one where I sat down and just admired things. It was very frustrating at times. I think frustration was boiled over both camps. But yeah, you're back in your first competitive game of the season. You get a win. Yeah, we'll move on.
One more quickly on the feistiness of the game. There were 4 red cards, but Mitch and Dan Rang were quite vocal about there maybe being another one for their number 17.
I don't know. I don't really look for that. I don't really. That's all dark arts and the gamesmanship. Perhaps, maybe. I'm sure if you ask HAMWORTHY, I'm sure they might have a different take on events. But I don't want it to be about that. There's some pretty unsavoury things there today. And I don't want the game of football to be like that. There's a lot of kids here, and this is your flagship game. The big one, the start of the season. There's a lot of excitement and things like that. And obviously the game's competitive, and they've come here with their game plan. And I don't want to win a game because the other opposition has gone down to 9 men or 9 men or 10 men. I don't want to do that. I want to beat the opposition's best team. That's where you truly, you can truly savour the victory.
1-0. Well, for me, it doesn't really reflect your side performance. There were a lot of chances, a lot of opportunities, but just that final little thing missing, apart from Ben Wright's goal, obviously.
Firstly, I think you've got to give credit to the opposition because they came here, and like I said, we always knew they were going to be a good team, and they made it extremely competitive, and they had a game plan and were hard to break down. And their defensive shape was good, and carried the threat with set pieces and things like that. And they were never out of the game, and they played for large periods with 10 men. So, firstly, credit has to go to them. You would expect chances. It's not being disrespectful to HAMWORTHY, but it's a step 3 side playing against a step 5 side, and of course we've been on the other shoe in the past with us, and I think back to the Murphy game where we soaked up a lot of pressure, rode our luck, and scored pretty much our only goal in the second half 4 or 5 years ago. So you would expect chances. To be honest, I would have expected more chances today, and I certainly would have expected more conversion. That 2-0, the game is dead and buried there today, and we were massively guilty of that. We were sometimes blasé in front of the goal, and far from clinical, which is something that, looking back through the results we've had of late, we have been very clinical. So it's slightly disappointing in that aspect.
A lot of shouts came from you in the second half for asking for simplicity. Did you feel like we're overcomplicating the game?
Yeah, throughout. There's always there's your initial game plan, but once you establish yourself in the opponent's half, that's when you've got decent footballers out there. That's where you want to play football. And I think at times we moved the ball far too slowly. In certain areas, certainly midfield, and off the back of that, areas that we could have potentially exposed were closed off, and we were far from fluid, really, in possession. And like I say, we created chances, but we felt with the amount of ball we had in territory, we should have created more chances.
Joe Gator came off early.
Yeah.
Did that impact your game a lot? And is he alright?
Yeah, we think so. It could be a dead leg. Tried to continue. Obviously, he's a big brave lad. Shane Hollaby came on. I thought Shane Hollaby did well. I thought Matt Drage did well as well. At centre half, the two didn't massively look troubled. And that's the beauty. That's what I said previously. Is regardless of personnel, I always think we've got pretty much a ready-made replacement to come in, and that won't be to the detriment of the team performance. So, Gator should be fine. But Hollaby did well when he came on.
Looking forward to your next game, has this game set a nice tone to go on to Walton casuals?
Like I say, it's always good to get a competitive win. That's either not playing well, which I don't think we did. At least you know that without playing well, you can win games and create chances which you haven't taken. So yeah, there is a decent belief here, and there will be a great belief going into Morgan Casuals, who I know their manager. He's on a rebuild job. That we want to win every game. We want to be aggressive in every game. We want to be on the front foot every game. And whenever we're not like that, and even sometimes in victory, there'll be an inquest after that into why things haven't gone, why you haven't performed at your best, what cogs in the wheel have stuttered. And so we'll look at that. We'll look at today. We'll look at the personnel. Look at the injuries. Look at the availability. And again, going to Malta, we expect to win.
Thank you, Lewis.
Thank you, Ashton.